Hi, everyone. My name is Christy. Just want to get some nods from the faces I see on the screen. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, great. So my name is Christy Gross. I am your Executive Director for Easton Park, and welcome to our quarterly town hall. Today is September 1st. Yay, we made it. It's going to be fall soon. And so with us, I'm going to go to the next slide, and we're going to get started. Okay, so tonight beyond the welcome, we do have some introductions to make. We're going to have a brief community update, an update from Colette with regards to our community engagement. We're going to have a development update, answers to those questions that were submitted ahead of time for the town hall, and then if we have time, then we'll get to some additional Q&A towards the end. So tonight we have representatives from three different teams that make up the one team that's working with Easton Park to make it what it is today. That starts with Brookfield Properties Development Team. Our division president is Brad Shelton. Actually joining us tonight is Matt Chase, Vice President of Community Associations, and Matt McCafferty, Senior Director of Land. Our Brookfield development partner is actually the entity that is our vision planning partner for the community. They're installing the infrastructure for the community and just building it as we go. Then we've got our board of directors that actually serves as a board for the community association. The board of directors is a policy and decision-making body, and they're acting on behalf of the association. Members of our development team are serving on the board of directors, which is common practice for a developing community. And our board members are Matt Chase, Matt McCafferty, Blake McAllister, and AJ Zorn. Then you know us, we are your community life team. We office down here at the Union, and that team consists of myself, Liza, our Director of Community Operations, Colette, our Director of Community Engagement, John LaRoe, our Facilities Manager, Sochi Diaz, our Coordinator of Community Engagement, and Chris Sandoval, also Coordinator, but of Community Standards. Okay. So I wanted to throw up our contact information here and tell you a little bit more about what the team does. And if we can go to the next slide, Sochi. I wanted to focus more on these members of the team. Mentioned John's name earlier. John, our facilities manager, is actually managing a team of maintenance staff that's here working in the community to keep everything looking in tip-top shape. That would include Luis and Romero. So you can find us down here at the Union during business hours, Monday through Friday. But then on the weekends, we've got additional coverage, and that includes our community life ambassadors. Marlene, Allison, and Melanie. These ladies are actually here 7 days a week, and they are working at our front desk, and you'll see them around the community and around the Union. They answer our questions that are coming in at our general inbox, eastonpark@dmbcommunitylife.com, and with any help that you need with regards to the association, amenities, access, then these ladies will get you pointed in the right direction. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about this newest team member that's joined us, and that's Chris Sandoval. Chris has joined us as Community Standards Coordinator, and he is actually working hard on our governance enforcement as well as our architectural process. And then last but not least, we have Sochi Diaz, and you'll know Sochi by all of the great communication that we send out on a weekly and a monthly basis. It is the first of the month, and we do have a new newsletter that went out today. So if you haven't already, please check that out. There's a lot of great information in there this month. Okay, and so with that, we do have an exciting update about our strategic leadership changes that we're making in order to meet the growing needs of Easton Park. So Matt Chase, I'm going to ask you if you'll bring us up to speed.
Yeah, thanks, Christy. So many of you probably saw the email that went out about a month or so ago about my transition from the regional vice president for DMB Community Life back over to Brookfield. And part of that transition left a hole to fill my position. So excitingly, Christy will be filling that position as the regional director for the Texas division. So she'll be overseeing the Texas division for DMV Community Life, which is amazing. So we had to find a backfill for Christy. And we found an amazing person within the team already who has been working with us for the last few years. And I'm now going to throw it right back to Christy to introduce him to y'all.
Awesome, thank you. So as Matt was saying, we do have a wonderful new team member to announce, and that is Skylar Jewell. Skylar comes to us from Kissing Tree, which is another Brookfield residential community just to our south in San Marcos, where he's served as the executive director there for the past 2 years. And while Skylar has called Texas home for the past 5 years, he's had a 10-plus year career working with very notable communities in Las Vegas and Florida, including Disney's Golden Oak residential community in Orlando. So I am beyond thrilled to continue working with Easton Park in this expanded role as regional director. Our on-site community life team remains committed to delivering on our community vision and plan. And in that spirit, Skylar and I are collaborating on a thoughtful and well-coordinated transition of our roles. So you're not going to feel any immediate changes with this, but we'll definitely keep you informed along the way. And certainly if you have any questions about this transition and what it means, then feel free to reach out to me directly or email the team here at Easton Park, and your email will get over to me. So, okay. And then with that, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about Chris. I mentioned that he joined the team as our community standards coordinator. You guys will probably remember that Angela was with us through the beginning of this year, and then she left in order to take on another opportunity. And while we hated to see her go, we wished her the best. Chris has taken on the role that Angela once had. So that being said, if you receive a notice or a letter from the association with some reminders about the community rules, or if you want to submit an architectural application, then Chris is going to be your contact with regards to both of those things. And so before Easton, Chris was actually with a landscape supplies company where he served as their safety and compliance coordinator. He is a graduate from St. Edward's University with a degree in criminal justice. And then also he served as an infantryman in the U.S. military from 2008 to 2019. In his free time, Chris likes to play softball, billiards, and hang out with his dogs. And of course, he is a Texas Longhorns fan. So we're super excited that he's joined the team. I'm sure that you will see him out in the community. I know a few people have already stopped him to talk with him, and that's what we want to do. Certainly, if you need us to come and take a look at something at your home, then we're available for that as well. Just let us know. Okay, so I've got some more exciting news here, and that is that we have a volunteer opportunity to serve on our Architectural Control Committee. So the Easton Park Board is seeking a resident volunteer to serve on this committee for the purpose of reviewing home exterior modifications submitted for association approval. Our appointed volunteer is going to receive all the training necessary with regards to interpretation of the community standards, as well as project submittal and the review process. The types of projects this volunteer would be reviewing would be pools, spas, landscaping, shade structures, lighting, sheds, etc. No, you don't have to be a construction expert on any of those things. What we're doing is we're looking at the plans submitted and comparing those against the standards stated in our governing documents, and then replying back on the project as needed. So the ACC committee does meet biweekly in person here at the union, and so we estimate this would be about a 4 to 6 hour time commitment per month. Committee members are sometimes asked to perform site inspections and talk with homeowners and attend appeal hearings. So just wanted you to be aware of that if you're interested in applying. And then how would you apply for this position? In the coming week, we're going to send out an announcement with an application to apply via Neighbor Network. So the board from there will appoint a volunteer, and then we're projecting that our first meeting will be held in October. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Colette so she can give us an update. Colette, you're muted.
There we go. So I wanted to start out by giving a little update on some of the events that we have had over the last quarter, starting with our barbecue contest that was exceptionally delicious, and a little picture of our winner there, James Grimaldo. Then we had our East Games event, which we had a great turnout for that and got to see some residents do some of their best athletic abilities. Also, want to give a big shout out to Justin Almahami and India Wilmot for helping put together our Juneteenth event, where actually Ernest Collins and his wife were able to attend and tell us so much about their family and how their family was a part of the land history of Easton Park. And then finally, last but not least, just a couple of weeks ago, we had our casino night, and residents were having fun. I know they look serious right there, but they were having a lot of fun. And then I want to tell you a little bit about what we have coming up next, starting with our Music in the Park event on this Friday with Flora and Fauna. It's going to be a great night out. We're going to have Hot Dog King and Tamale Addiction out there to give you guys some great food. Then, we heard you guys about you wanted some snake aversion training for the dog. So on Sunday, we'll be having snake aversion training at Bryant Park. If you haven't signed up, I think they have maybe 1 or 2 spots left. So make sure you sign up for that if you would like that for your pup. We'll be having our Nob Hill adventure, which is part of our Get to Know Your Hood series. So this one's going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. It's going to be a little bit more interactive. So we're going to be at Nob Hill. Residents are going to have the opportunity to leave their mark on the trolley by putting a handprint on the trolley. And we're just going to talk a little bit about all of the story behind Nob Hill, such as why we have a trolley up there and some of the rocks up there and features. I don't want to give it all away right now, but make sure you come out for that event. And then we'll have Tasty Tuesdays on September 21st, which I am super excited about because I've never seen a hibachi food truck. If you have seen a hibachi food truck, you have seen things that I have not. So get excited, come out, have Japanese hibachi from Jay's Hibachi, and then we'll have our new home orientation on the 28th. And then last but not least, I want to talk about our volunteer day at Community First Village. So Community First Village works with individuals who previously were experiencing homelessness and are working their way out of homelessness. And we will have the opportunity to volunteer there on the 30th. And actually a portion of our proceeds from Music in the Park will be going to Community First Village. So we can only take 20 people for this event on the 30th. So if you haven't had the opportunity to do so, sign up on Neighbor Network. And then I am going to turn this back over to Matt Chase for some development and parks updates.
Thanks, Colette. So reintroducing myself, Matt Chase, and joining me to confuse everybody is Matt McCafferty. We have a lot of Matts on the Brookfield team, so we're going to be really focusing this evening's development update on parks. But Sochi already beat me to it, so she can go ahead and go there. This year we will be doing the livability survey again. So those of you that have been with us for the last few years here in Easton Park know that the survey comes out once a year. This is an extremely important survey for all of our residents within Easton Park. This really helps our development team figure out what to do with the community moving forward. The survey really has to do about the livability of Easton Park. So it asks questions, everything from how our community management team is doing to what do you like and dislike about the parks, events, the walkability of the community, the trail system. This survey, again, really informs us and helps us to decide what future amenities should look like. So that survey will be coming out at the end of this month, so please be on the lookout for it. We'll also be doing a drawing for all the participants. and more information will be coming soon on that. And yeah, so let's go ahead and hop over. So what I really wanted to discuss this evening about parks really comes from our last town hall, where there were a lot of questions about putting restrooms in different parks and why there are no restrooms. So when we design parks, we have three different designs. The first one is a pocket park. So pocket park is just a small park. Typically, it's a passive park, like Kaiser Green is a passive park. There really isn't much to do there. And then there's some pocket parks where we will throw some type of play equipment in there. And really that came from those livability surveys, which is why I say that those are very important, and we ask that everybody participate in them. You know, residents said, hey, the parks we have are either too passive or we don't like the play equipment that's there. So we take those survey results and we make changes as we're doing some future planning. So the first one of pocket parks, they're very small parks within the community that aren't super active. They're not really gathering spaces. And then our next type of parks are neighborhood parks. So a good example of neighborhood parks are Nob Hill and Kiki Park. These are a little more active. They have larger play equipment, areas to sit. But again, they're not really major gathering places within the community, which is why you don't see restrooms and everything within those parks. These parks are really meant for walking. They're close enough to be able to walk to and to be able to have some fun. There aren't major green spaces except for Nob Hill. I know Nob Hill has a lot of green space. However, it's all on a hill, so it's not really usable for event spaces and things like that. And so our final type of park is the community parks, and I'm actually going to throw another one in there, and that's for our upcoming park, Skyline Park, which is a community / regional park. So Bryant Park is a large park. We have all of our events there, and has been here since the beginning. So that's why there's restrooms and places to sit, because it's a gathering space. It's a gathering space for the entire community to get together, to be able to have fun and to be able to have some conversation. And the upcoming park, Skyline Park, is going to be 2 to 3 times the size. It'll be about 25 acres. So that will again be a large community park for gathering and to be able to have a lot of folks be able to show up to that park. So to continue on with the parks, I know that there have been some questions and some concerns about Union Park West. And as we looked at Union Park West, we had to really figure out what would be the best use for that area. Should it be a pocket park? Should it be a community park? Should it be a neighborhood park? And I know that there has been some media out there about what was originally intended for that park. And as we took a look at it, we felt that there were better spaces that some of those amenities should be placed throughout the community, because you really want a lot of those amenities to be centralized and allow multiple residents within the community to be able to get there. Everything from parking and accessibility for our residents. So I'm going to pass it off to Matt McCafferty, who's really going to kind of chat a little bit more about some of those amenities that folks may have been looking forward to in Union Park West that have already actually been built in place, and those that will be coming in the future. So Matt, you're up.
Yeah, thank you. So kind of highlighting the parks and some of the conversation that's happened, I do kind of want to highlight a little bit of a timeline. Back when Easton Park was still very immature in its development, and I don't mean, immature from our standpoint, but we just had not had the number of neighborhoods and the growth that we've currently had. There was a map that was up that's been shown around from 2016. And what I really want to highlight is the park that we are offering in that space, number one, is really looking to achieve some outdoor physical activities. We're currently looking at fitting in a basketball court, potential tot lot with some smaller gathering spaces. Yes, I understand that, as Matt mentioned, when we really evaluated the space, its connectivity to the entirety of the development, its proximity to the entirety of the development, the amphitheater, bandstand, the place for the HOA to be able to conduct live concerts, and to be able to do movie in the park nights. That's much better suited inside a Skyline Park, which is a 25-acre activated park. We're currently looking at multiple playgrounds, sitting areas, areas for bands, areas for movies, restrooms, as well as a splash pad, all within the 25-acre park. I guess that's really what I want to kind of focus on with regards to the conversation in the parks, and as we get to those more with some of these questions. The things like yoga and some of the aspects that were mentioned, they're not being taken away. I know currently, I would say, whether current, at least in the past, I've seen yoga done at Bryant Park. I've seen yoga done at the amenity center. And so we are offering all of these different spaces, albeit not in the space that that may have been advertised in the 2016. So.
Thanks, Matt. And we want to further engage the community in this conversation. So next Thursday, and you'll receive an email from the team out there, from the community life team. But next Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to have an in-person meeting at the union for those that are interested in having more discussion regarding Union Park West Park at 6 p.m. So be on the lookout for that email from the community life team. And I will pass it back to Christy because I think the Q&A is next.
Awesome, thank you. So we received well over 100 questions, as we do every town hall, and we really appreciate that. We did our best to consolidate those. We had a lot of questions, again, as we always do, that were repeat of each other, and some that we've answered in town halls previously. So for the sake of time, we condensed the questions. Your question is likely in here, maybe reworded. So listen close to some of the questions that are going to be read aloud and then answered, because I feel like the answer is in here. If you feel like your question was not addressed during this town hall, certainly you can have an opportunity to submit it in the live Q&A part here, and you can do that if time allows. We are going to get to additional questions at the end, so do be submitting those, and then what we aren't able to get to, we will send out in an email after this presentation, so in the coming days. So we'll start off with those submitted questions that are specific to our development of the community. Matt McCafferty is going to help us answer those. So I will read the first question, and Matt, I'll have you answer that. So who was responsible for construction zones and the debris that triples throughout the neighborhood?
So in a short order, you know, all of our builders and us as developers are responsible. We do have routine maintenance programs that have been initiated. And, you know, as always, please reach out to the HOA staff if you're seeing debris in any particular area or from any particular individual, and it can help us better tighten up some of those efforts.
Perfect. And since you mentioned reaching out to the staff here, I wanted to point out to everyone watching that our email address is going to be at the bottom right of every slide you see here, eastonpark@DMB Community Life. That is the fastest, best way to reach us. Of course, you can always give us a call here at the Union but we appreciate the direct email, and especially if you have pictures, that's always helpful. Okay, there. Our next question was, we would like to see if placing shades on all the play areas is being considered.
So the short answer is no, for all of the play areas. It is something that we look at with, all of our new parks that are either in design or in consideration. And we'll always continue to evaluate, how best to make the park offering to the community.
Okay. And will a fence be put or be built between the new pathway and the junkyard that's behind Best Ride Retention Pond to the north?
So there are plans for a fence that our team is currently working with. Right now, the trail, is not complete, but prior to completion and grand opening, we will have that area fenced off or controlled.
Okay. Is there a plan to relocate any of the trees that are on the hill where Skyline Park is being built? And can residents enter to get those for installation in their own backyard?
No, unfortunately not. And that's really due to the expense. Relocating and moving trees is a very costly effort. And anyone who really utilizes those efforts will not warranty the work either. So not only is it incredibly costly, but there's no guarantee that the tree will survive.
Okay. And then will other Easton Park neighborhoods get any special discounts or incentives for installing Tesla tiles to work towards the most sustainable neighborhood?
So currently, no, there's no plans in working with Tesla on offering discounts to the entirety of Easton Park.
Okay. It looks like we've got some damaged sidewalk corners in the community from ongoing construction. Who addresses or requests repairs since these are now managed by the county?
Yeah, so while the county may maintain or manage or own the right-of-way and roadways, we don't like for broken sidewalks to exist. So please let our community life team know exactly where you see these, and we can either help escalate to the county or through Brookfield and the HOA directly going out there and fixing them.
Perfect. Have you received any updates on when Google Fiber will come to Easton Park?
No. So we have been in contact with Google Fiber, as little as I would say in the last 6 months, and they still had, no way of gaining entry into the market or into Easton Park for the ability to bring their services. We'll always be open for the possibility of Google Fiber, if or when they are ready to move.
Okay. It looks like we've got a pothole at the roundabout between Skyline and Kiki. It was reported some time ago. What's the status of the repair of that?
Yeah, so we did our warranty walk with the county. That repair is on the list. We're working with our contractor on taking care of that, as well as other items within the Kiki Park roadways. And so we're hoping that within the next, I'd say 30 to 60 days, we should be moving on not just that area, but other areas as well.
Okay. When is the second amenity center and pool set to start and finish construction?
Yeah, so we've touched on the second amenity center before. There's currently no defined timeline, I would say, on an amenity center has any component similar to what is in Union Park. However, we do look at Skyline Park as being a significant amenity that we'll be bringing to the community. And we'll talk about that later on in this slide. But we are currently working on trying to get a permit for Skyline Park and hoping for a early to mid 2022 start date.
Okay, great. Any plans for a splash pad?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, currently Skyline Park is looking to be outfitted with a splash pad.
Okay, what about a community garden?
Currently, we don't have anything in the works right now for a community garden.
Okay. And will we have any sport courts, basketball, tennis, volleyball, or disc golf?
Yeah, so as I mentioned in Union Park West, we're looking at bringing a basketball court, and all of the above sports courts are in contemplation and consideration as we find places, the right places to place those type of amenities within the community.
Okay. And I feel like you've answered this in part in other questions, but when Skyline Park once it's complete, what will Skyline Park contain? What all can you tell us about that?
So I guess, start, complete, and what will it be? Skyline Park we are looking to start hopefully early to mid 2022. It right now will consist of several parks, that are aged for not just small children, but also larger or older children, splash pads, viewing areas, kind of grills, gathering space, bathrooms, areas for open lawn events, and be outfitted in order to host, live bands, movies in the park, and that's everything right now that's being considered within Skyline.
Okay, switching gears to the dog park, when can we expect that to be completed and what's it going to look like?
Yeah, so we are hoping that the dog park will be completed at the end of September. We currently have material shortages as a lot of companies and people in the current climate are going through. So that goal might be a little bit more of an aspiration than a reality. It'll have covered areas. We're going to have fountains for dogs. We will have, kind of your typical waste collection areas for the dogs. We are currently looking at play equipment within the park as well. I think everybody's seen the small dog, larger dog outfit, and I think everybody has also seen the shade structures that are going to be going up over there.
Will there be lights in the dog park?
No, because it's a temporary park, it won't have lights. We are outfitting it with a lot, but because it's not the ultimate final location, we won't be outfitting the dog park with lights.
Okay. Being that the dog park is in a temporary location, what are the eventual plans for the spot where it's being constructed today?
We haven't decided. So those plans haven't been decided on yet.
Okay. Can you share a Skyline Park trail map and ETA for completion of that?
Yeah, we will get that over to our community life team. Apologies to them for not already have done that. And we're hoping that this will be complete by the end of the year. It is a significant portion. It will go not only connect through some of the open green spaces that currently exist throughout Skyline Park, but it will also go all the way down and connect into the loop that goes around the pond and feeds into the neighborhood park at Kiki Park. So it is an extensive trail system, and we're hoping to get it kicked off.
Awesome.
Sorry, it's already kicked off, but we're hoping to complete it by the end of the year.
Okay, great. Okay, will there be a path that connects Nob Hill to the other side of William Cannon without having to cross the street?
So I'm going to say yes, but, and the only reason why I want to state the but is we're currently working and planning on that connection. That's something that we've been driving for. So long as things that are outside of our control, such as uh, not being able to get it pushed through permitting process or being given the ability or granted the permission to go install that. Other than some type of event like that, we have every intention on bringing that park under William Cannon and are currently planning that.
Okay. So our next set of questions were specific to the retail and the commercial area. When is McDonald's and the Summer Moon retail strip set to begin construction and open?
So I don't have a timing on the open. I know right now they're still working through permits and they're trying to get under construction late this winter to early spring.
Okay. Do we know when the CVS is going to open?
Yeah, they're hoping early winter. The last update I was given is it was looking at pushing from October into November, December-ish, but they're working quickly to try and get that store open.
Okay. What will the pet store, restaurant, and pizza place be in the retail strip?
Yeah, so like I mentioned when we showed the schematic of that, that was a schematic with kind of placeholders or the developer's hope on the uses. Uh, they're still looking at landing the uses that are described in the question in there, but they're still working on pinning those down and finalizing them.
Okay. Is there a plan for a supermarket at Easton Park or any other type of grocer type store?
So not within Easton Park's boundaries. Easton Park is looking to have another commercial area that will be located at 183 in between Slaughter and William Cannon. And currently HEB owns the site that's at the northwest corner of William Cannon and McKinney Falls. And that's likely to be the first and grocery opportunity to come to Easton Park.
Great. What grades will the IDEA school teach?
So we're not fully aware of their final decision by IDEA schools. They recently contacted us and let us know of their delay of commencing construction, which they had originally planned for this summer. And so we are waiting to hear what their ultimate plans are and when they look to start construction for the IDEA schools.
Okay. Is there an ETA on the retail for the 183 side, and will residents get to vote and have a say on it in what goes in there?
So there is no ETA on that. There's a lot of work that has to be done from an infrastructure standpoint in order to unlock that area to bring any uses. And while the residents won't have a direct say in what goes there, the ultimate build out and success of the community is going to be what helps drives us to bring the best uses to the community.
Okay. Our next set of questions were specific to our roads and our streets, our streetlights. So when will a school zone sign be going up? Will there be a reduced speed limit implemented?
So we've worked with DVISD and put them in contact with the county on this. The last correspondence that we received, not being Del Valley and knowing where those conversations are, was that the traffic warrants didn't meet the school zoning on the roadway at this time.
Okay. When is William Cannon's 4-lane expansion set to start and finish? And then also the Slaughter expansion to 183.
Yeah, so William Cannon is currently slated to start in Q4 of this year. We are going through our, should be final rounds of comments, and then we'll be going out to publicly bid and letting and commencing of construction. And the only thing I want to take 1 second to go back on is I do want the community to know that, you know, we have pushed on the county and worked with the county, and the school zone going up. That's not a deflection by us. It's something that we want, you know, just as bad as the community. Just unfortunately, we're looking to achieve that through, you know, allowing the school district to implement a little bit of pressure as well.
Okay. Is there a plan to put an Easton Park entry monument on the 183 side?
Yeah, so our team is currently designing and working on bringing the infrastructure down. So there's got to be two things that happen. William Cannon needs to ultimately start construction so we can define the edges and get all of the heavy work with the large machines kind of out of the way. And then two, we have other projects that are probably more boring, like very large water lines, bringing power, etc., all to that area that the team is also working on. But yes, we do have plans on doing a nice entry monumentation off of 183 and William Cannon. And then I realized I didn't touch on Slaughter expansion. The reality is we are looking at getting a permit on Slaughter potentially by Q2 of 2022. And, you know, that start maybe looking at some time to the end of 2022 for a start date.
Okay. When will the gate be opened on Mandela Bend in Union Park East to Colton Bluff Springs?
Yeah, so this is one that we've had, I think, a few times. So similar to the traffic warrants that we discussed within the school zone, the traffic warrants aren't at a place to need or to warrant the removal of those gates at Colton Bluff. And this is also something that's we are pushing on and looking to get open as well.
Okay, great. So our next set of questions, I will be answering. They were specific to the community operations. And I'll start with the first one here. Will the street light be replaced at Hillock and Colton Bluff? That pole has actually been hit twice. We have notified Bluebonnet Electric of this issue, and as you can imagine and have heard in many other cases, the parts and the pole necessary are on order. So we're very aware that it's needing to be replaced, and we're taking care of that just as quickly as possible. The next
Christy,
one.
Christy, I'm gonna help you out here.
Okay.
So who's responsible for ensuring the street lights are on, one of the lights on Chrysler Bend and Kiki be turned on?
Oh, thank you. You're reading the questions. Okay, gotcha. These lights should now be on. However, we're going to inspect. We just got this question a few weeks ago, and we feel like the lights are now working. So we're going to inspect those to ensure that they are. But if you notice elements within the community that are not working, not on, not functioning, please don't wait for our town hall to submit questions about that. Reach out to us. As I said, we're here 7 days a week, and the quicker you can let us know, the quicker we can be on top of things. Especially lights out at night. I mean, we're here mostly during business hours. Thus, we may not see that a light didn't come on. So we appreciate the help there.
Awesome. Are there plans to repair the rust-stained sidewalks in Skyline and Kiki?
So this has come up in previous town halls, And we believe that the stains, we've investigated, we believe that the stains were caused by overspray of fertilizer, which if you're not aware, fertilizer is often used to stain concrete. Unfortunately, we weren't looking to stain the concrete, and it happened. There are no plans to try to remove it. It is going to wear off over time. There's no amount of power washing that we would be able to do to remove that. So unfortunately, it's going to stay until it fades.
Thanks. Went to the union the other day and noticed some exterior ceiling wood planks were coming off. Did we get those repaired?
Yep, those have been repaired, and not as a result of that question being submitted. That was actually already in process.
Awesome. And this next question is about the well beats in the exercise room not having any audio.
Yes. So again, we didn't know about this. Certainly, we're going to check into what could be the issue here. So certainly this is another one of those things where if something isn't working, please, come let one of the staff members know. We put in a work order for that, and we can get it fixed, pretty quickly. So we'd appreciate letting us know whenever something's not functioning.
Awesome. When will the trees be replaced at the entrance to Nob Hill?
Hopefully before the end of the year. We're struggling to find trees right now that are comparable in size since the winter storm. So it's definitely a priority for us, and we're looking for trees now. So we've got some proposals that are due back or being updated actually, because as trees are becoming more available to us.
So let's add a second question, because this was asked in the live Q&A. How about Kaiser Green? Dead trees in Kaiser Green.
So there was a dead tree in Kaiser Green that was replaced with a very small tree, in addition to maybe some others that need to be replaced after the winter storm. It's on our plan to replace those as well, hopefully by the end of this year. I will say by the end of this year, they will be replaced.
Awesome. How often is the pool cleaned during the week, and are chemical levels and cleanliness monitored every day?
Yes, so we actually contract with a third-party company that cleans the pool 5 days a week. We've increased that over previous years, knowing that our bather load is much higher now with more folks in the community, living in the community. We've experienced a higher level of debris in the pool lately. This is due to a combination of things. One, we've got a higher bather load. Bather load is the number of bodies that are actually in the pool. We've got hotter temperatures that are causing a more need for an additional chlorine. And then also, and this is addressed in the next question, people entering the pool before rinsing off. And, we're clean, right? Our clothes are clean, our bathing suits are clean, except that, we do bring with us lint and oils and perfumes and everything from the things that we've been wearing. So if you have an opportunity before you come down to the union, please take a shower, rinse off your bathing suit, especially if you've been in other streams, lakes, or rivers. That'll help us keep the pool looking good. Certainly, and I'll go ahead and answer the next question. We don't have an outdoor shower by the pool, but we do have showers here in the union. Certainly, if you're going from the gym directly to the pool, let's make sure that we shower before going out there as well.
I think we missed a question. It's how do we submit issues with areas maintained by Urban Dirt?
Okay, so that is another one of those that just utilizing that email that's in the bottom right corner. Certainly we want to know what you're seeing and want to get on it right away. Urban Dirt is our new landscaper that joined us on July 1st. They've come a long way since the startup. This is quite the project. So much mowing in common areas, so many areas under development, and they've done a great job to be brought up to speed here in Easton Park. Do we still have areas to work out? Absolutely we do, and we will ongoing. So please do, if you have any issues, any complaints, then reach out to us at Easton Park at DMV Community Life, and we're happy to correspond with you and give you updates on the status of things as well.
Awesome. Are there any plans to make sure each household is sticking to the 5 guests at the pool?
So at this time, we don't have any plans. However, we are talking about what we can do next pool season to better manage how many guests are coming in at the pool. So we're evaluating different methods of doing so. And certainly if we make any changes, then we will be sending out an announcement prior to the next pool season opening.
And will the pool hours be returning to a later closing time?
So our pool hours have actually not changed. Our pool always has closed at 9 p.m. daily, and that is because it's dark at that time, and our pool is not, we don't have pool lights that allow for night swimming. So there's been no changes in that. We'll always close at 9 p.m.
Awesome. Will the gym, pool, or the union itself revert back to reservations due to COVID?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's no plans to go back to a reservation system for use of the pool or the gym. Certainly, if you would like, now our reservations are open. If you'd like to make a private reservation or a private event reservation for the Vaughn or the Costello, that is now available to everyone.
Awesome. So we've lost about 15 umbrellas out at the pool due to wind. Will we be replacing those?
Yes, we will be. And we're actually even evaluating a different type of umbrella mounted differently. We're going to see what we can do to keep our umbrellas on the ground better. We even this year ordered bases that were rated for a higher weight and wind, and those didn't work. Our umbrellas, even before Memorial Day, we had lost 8, and that was just due to the high winds, the storms that we saw. They became torpedoes and just shot over the back lawn and into Cottonmouth Creek. I'm glad no one was hurt with that. But yes, we are going to replace those. We will be making an order very soon, and we'll just have to see what the lead time is given our pandemic situation here.
So this next question is about the pathway that goes through the creek behind Union Park or the Union, and that there's sometimes standing water there. Is there anything that can be done to address it?
So that is a low water zone. It's actually doing what it was designed to do, and that is all of that area between the pool and Cottonmouth Creek. That's a low water area. All of that water drains into the creek, and it starts even from the pond at the top where it overflows and flows down. So we can't do anything to change the design of the trail during when we're in the periods that we are with a lot of rain. We're going to experience water across. What can be done is that our team can go out, and on those days where there's not water actively flowing and it's kind of just standing still, we can push that water and that mud off the trail, and that's what we'll do. But when we're having a lot of rain, we can't expect that the water will flow across the trail during those wet periods.
Awesome. Can you share information on Easton Park's sustainability and philanthropic efforts?
Yeah, and certainly I'm going to actually turn this part over to Colette, where she'll answer our community engagement questions.
Thank you. So some of our sustainability and philanthropic efforts, I'm so glad to actually have gotten this question. Some of the things that we have done over the past year has been we collected about 70 pounds of dog food that was donated to Austin Pets Alive. Our residents volunteered to help build picnic tables at Newton Collins Elementary, and also a portion of each of our Music in the Park events are donated to charities that residents voted on earlier this year. And as I mentioned earlier, this particular Music in the Park that is coming up on Friday, those funds, a portion of those funds will be going to Community First Village. And so make sure you go to Neighbor and sign up to attend that Music in the Park with Flora and Fauna. Also, if residents are interested in forming a community club around sustainability and/or philanthropy, please feel free to reach out to me so that we can get that started and I can help you through the process of starting a club like that.
Awesome. Thanks, Colette. So Christy, there's been 2 events where the union has been closed. Can you share more info on this?
Mute. Sorry, I was muted for a second. The Community Life team and the developer have partnered to do to actually market 3 events, 2 of which have already happened, and that's to promote the visibility of this community. So as I said, there's going to be 1 more at the end of this month. It's very unusual that we would close the amenities, but it is for the greater good.
How are the funds for the rental of the union utilized?
So the rental fees for the union are actually applied to the day-to-day operational costs, such as the upkeep and maintenance of the community. So basically, they go to offset the maintenance. They hit the operating budget as a line item and help to offset, the cleaning and, the utilities and all of those things.
Awesome. So our residents like to party and they like to have block parties. So what are the rules around that?
Neighborhood block parties give our residents a chance to connect and celebrate events together, which we love. Easton Park Community Life team, we encourage the residents to organize the block parties in our common areas. And due to recent popularity, we've been working on a block party application form for residents to be able to fill out. So we'll be putting that out on Neighbor Network very soon. And if you wish to host a block party that requires street closure, then we're going to need the application submitted through the City of Austin's Neighborhood Block Party page. And when we put out the application, we'll make sure to link as well. The form is actually found on austintexas.gov, but the link's kind of long for me to share with you right now. I wouldn't expect everybody to be able to write so fast.
Will regular fitness classes be added to the fitness center schedule?
Yeah, so we have recently added 2 classes to the fitness schedule, and they are Optimize Your Fitness on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 a.m. The U class is currently do a free demo on Sunday. So Sunday, September 5th, actually this coming Sunday at 8:30 a.m., there's going to be a demo.
Awesome. So people would like to meet, get to know each other. Are there with similar interests and hobbies? How are they able to do that?
So we love hearing your ideas about different events, and we're always looking for activities to engage all of Easton Park. Currently, we average 4 to 5 events a month, so we'd love to see you out to enjoy them. As a matter of fact, we have our Music in the Park event coming up on Friday with Flora and Fauna. Colette mentioned that earlier in the presentation. So in addition to that, we're forming a resident run community club is a great way to meet other people with similar interests as yours. And some of those clubs meet regularly. Some of those that already meet regularly are the Poker Club and the New Moms Group. So again, we hear from time to time from folks that want to get one started. We're here to help connect neighbors with neighbors. So let's make sure that we connect if you do have a special interest, and we can help you get one of those special interest groups started.
Awesome. So many of our Easton Park residents have some pretty great landscape and different ideas. Is there any way to do some type of landscape tour around the community?
Yeah, we love this idea. It's a great one, and something that we can certainly look into and see if any residents are interested in participating. So be on the lookout for a poll that we'll include in this week's Pulse.
Awesome. Is there going to be another D&D gaming opportunity in the future?
So the Dungeons and Dragons opportunity was put together to help residents that are interested in the same game to get to know each other and form their own community club. We hope that they do plan another event here in the near future. And if you'd like to know information or any more information on how to form that or be a part of that one or form a different community club, reach out to Colette. And as I mentioned earlier, she'll help connect you.
Awesome. And will there be an outdoor decorating contest this year?
Yes, certainly. We're going to bring back the holiday decorating contest for Halloween and Christmas this year. We'll be picking a winner in each section of the community, so stay on the lookout for more information in a newsletter coming up.
Awesome. So we have a few, oh, sorry, go ahead. I forgot about this one.
It's okay. So yeah, we can go to the next slide. We did receive some questions that were very specific to Union Park West. Those would include questions about maintenance within the boundaries of Union Park West, dog stations, lighting, parking, etc. We've mentioned before, but we never mind reminding folks there that Union Park West, while it's a part of Easton Park Master Community, the section itself has a different developer, builder, and different board of directors, and a different management partner. So your section of the community is managed by Associa, and so you've got a community manager that can help answer those questions. His name is Steve, and I've got a phone number and his email address there at the bottom. So there again, if you have questions with regards to maintenance, streets, parking, lighting, dog stations, all within the boundaries of Union Park West, reach out to Steve and he'll be your source there. And then likewise with Union Park East, the only difference here is that it is myself and Liza who will be your contact if you have questions specific to Union Park East. And we did receive a handful with regards to parking and street signage, dog station, and we wanted to make sure that you had the answers to those in your inbox. So Liza and I have prepared answers in writing, and we're sending that out to your email. So if you receive the invite to this presentation tonight, that means you're gonna be able to receive the Q&A we put together based on the questions you submitted for the town hall. So it looks like we are beyond our hour mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little beyond, but I can shoot through these pretty quickly.
Okay.
So we discussed the replacing the dead trees. Is there a map of the planned slaughter extension? There is, but not one that we're ready to share just yet. Can you provide specifics on the plans? We won't be answering any multifamily questions this evening. You're more than welcome to attend that meeting next week, where we'll be discussing Union Park West Park specifically, and we can answer questions at that time. Any holiday decorations throughout the community? If not, do we get this factored in the next budget? I believe there's a $20,000 budget for holiday decorating. I might be overselling that a little bit, but I know it's pretty substantial. Typically, I believe they decorate the Union and some of the trees on William Cannon. So I'm a big proponent of holiday lighting. So everybody on the team knows that. I want a massive Christmas tree somewhere in that community, eventually probably be in Skyline Park once that's finished. So yes, they will definitely be decorating for the holidays this year. Thank you, DMB, for being so responsive and communicative. Thank you for that comment for the team here. And these rest are about the apartment specifically. Like I said, we'll be happy to answer those next week. As a member of the Bryant Park community impacted by the recent tree removals by Urban Dirt, were there trees removed out there, Christy, and were those because of the winter storm?
We had some trees that were too close to a wall, and they were impacting the wall, so they had to be removed. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll walk out there with Christy, and we'll take a look at the area and see if we might be able to put something that won't be as invasive or damaging to those walls out there. And I think that is it for those that we can answer pretty quickly here on the Q&As.
Okay, perfect. So that brings us to the conclusion. Your questions don't have to stop here, though. Certainly, we've put our emails out there a few times tonight. Hopefully, you remember those. I do want to thank everyone who attended our last town hall and continued to have dialogue with me after the last town hall. I think I begged everyone to please reach out to me, and many of you did, and I really appreciate that. So give us that opportunity, reach out if you have any additional questions, feedback, concerns, comments. We are happy to help and keep things moving in the right direction. So with that, we'll say thank you for everyone, to everyone attending, and we hope you have a great night.
Bye all.
Bye-bye.